If you were living in 1930s Germany and you knew what was coming, if you had been teleported to 2025 and you saw what was going on and you had access to a couple history books and a few documentaries, and then you got brought back to the 1930s, wouldn't you react a little differently? Wouldn't you, like, get the hell out of Germany or, like, build an underground railroad way quicker? At the very least, put some extra flour and sugar in your pantry because shit's gonna get tight. Give a heads up to your Jewish and gay friends that maybe they want to go visit friends abroad now. Like, put that shit on your credit card. You are not coming back to pay this bill anytime soon. So many preppers, and preppers get a bad name. Most people are just prepared. Either they've lived through the bottom falling out of their lives, or they had, interactions with their Depression era grandparents like me. So I have a particular set of skills because I was taught them by a woman who experienced the bottom dropping out and didn't want to be caught unaware ever again. Most of the channels on TikTok and YouTube about canning and gardening and being self-sustaining have been around for 5-10 years. They are just trying to share what they know about being self-sufficient with you. They are not trying to offend you. I, on the other hand, have been posting to TikTok since the moment Trump got in, trying to tell people, like, hey, this is the Nazi handbook. This is how they're going to play the game. Trump didn't even bother rewriting it. He's just day for day. On day 6, Hitler. And day 6, Trumpy Poo's going to. They're already going after the, LGBTQ plus community. Check. Golden age of art and music, meaning moderated. Check. First 4 chapters of Project 2025 implemented. Check. Turning government agencies into personal investigators for Trump? Check. I expect countries to start announcing that they will not be attending our Olympics shortly because, fucking check. It's not that the people who have been telling you, like, this is coming, that is coming, do this, prepare this, try to put a little way of extra of this, they're not interested in being right. It would be nice to be acknowledged for being like, hey, we warned you fucking thusly. It's not that they want to be right. It's that we want you to be prepared. We want to help put a little bit of a buffer between what is and what is going to happen. Nobody is coming to save us. Reluctantly, the U.S. joined the war and eventually helped to bring down Hitler. In the modern day equivalent, that would be China, which I don't think a lot of you are ready to wrap your heads around. But keep practicing your Mandarin. The greatest form of rebellion during this phase in our new history, which is an exact replay of our old history, is community and self-sufficiency. So many people write in my comments, stop fear-mongering, we don't need to. Look, there are absolutely some preppers out there who are ready to filter their urine, have like 6 bug-out locations, have enough MREs to survive until 30, 50. They have a stash of, cigarettes, alcohol, and weapons. They are not interested in surviving. They are interested in becoming the lord of their territory, if not the entire country, when the worst happens. I am not a fan of them. I also worry for their colons because not one of them has packed enough fiber pills to compensate from the lack of fiber in those MREs. They're going to be very, very angry people. Many minority communities have already locked down, and respect to those who have. There are a lot of white people who are floundering in this, like, well, if I just pretend it's not happening. It's not just happening, you're in it. That content you posted 3 months ago, it's so right. Yep. And now that you recognize that the gardeners, the, homesteaders, the, Depression-era cookbook duplicators, now that you recognize that they've been trying to prepare you for what they've had a sense that is coming for a while now, can you maybe listen to them instead of just like, why are you fear-mongering? It will all be better. It's not going to be better. We are going to have to go through this. There is no around this. We are going to have to go through. And having a little bit extra in your pantry, learning how not to talk about your gay friends and groups of people you don't know, getting your hands on physical media, learning how to take your shoes off before you enter your house and how to properly wash your hands once you do. to help prevent the spread of bird flu because, our government isn't interested in it and the CDC can't help you with it anymore. We're already seeing signs about, due to, the shortage of eggs, due to the thing we're not allowed to talk about, breakfast sandwiches at your local deli are going to be at least $1 more a sandwich. Deal with it. It's not that we won't have anything. We will have less of things. The more undocumented we get rid of, the less migrant workers we let in, the less we will have farmed, the less we will have picked, the less we will have brought to table. And with things like the avian bird flu, the more cattle we have to slaughter, the more birds that we have to put down, it will mean less protein sources. So what is available will be more expensive at a time when most people don't really have very much savings to begin with. We, with our advice, are trying to get you ahead, but we're being met with like, stop fucking telling me to try to grow a tomato plant. I live in a western-facing apartment. Cool. When tomatoes are $16 a pound, shut the fuck up and don't post at all. Because if you can tell us to shut up now, we get to tell you to shut the fuck up when you can't afford food. Oh, but you should show kindness and grace. Why? Nobody else is. Why the hell do I have to be nice? Despite whatever lies our politicians are telling, I just saw on TV an ad today for a guy running for something in New Jersey like, I'm gonna lower your taxes. Buddy, shut the fuck up. Tell us how you're gonna help us survive the next 4 years. Stop fucking lying about anything else. The 1% want a 20% tax break. The only way that fucking happens is if the 99% gives up more of their money. The biggest fucking lie you could tell us in the next 4 years is you're going to lower our taxes. The people who are trying to tell you to prepare, to brace, to work to accept what is going to happen so it is not as shocking when you find yourself in the middle of the shit stew. We're not interested in being right. We're interested in giving you the tools to survive. A lot of the things our grandparents, great-grandparents knew in 1930-something are skills people don't have anymore. People got scrappy, people got creative, people knew how to darn. Our clothes are so crappy now, you can't really darn them. Anytime you try to throw a new stitch into them, they rip. Before just jumping onto somebody's page to bitch that they're trying to inform you, or that they're fear-mongering for warning you that, here's what Hitler did on his 18th day of power. And when it matches exactly with what Trump does on his 18th day of power, stop trying to make sure you know we're right. Maybe look at our next post about what's coming tomorrow and try to onboard that. There will come a point where we won't be able to tell you anymore. There will come a point when there are no available resources to help kind of try to put a buffer in. There will come a point when your Spotify list is curated by somebody in Trump's golden age department. It's not fun, and it's not easy, and it's not enjoyable, and nobody likes knowing what's coming. But trying to put a buffer between yourself and that gives you a little bit of breathing room when you're in the shit stew. All we're trying to get you is some breathing room, because we are going to be silenced. Neighbors are going to turn on neighbors. People are going to do terrible, shitty things for a couple cans of Spam. And a hell of a lot of people who you thought your friends are going to turn on you simply because they are trying to get a small leg up. If you knew in 1930-something what was about to happen, in 2025 we're telling you the same shit's about to happen. Instead of preparing, you're busy on social media screaming at us how wrong we are. Worst case, you have some extra flour in your pantry and a few hard copies of some books, and we're idiots. Is that the worst thing that ever happened in the happening of happenings? No. So maybe next time, are they wrong? Or do I just not want to hear it? And then, even if I don't want to hear it, should I maybe try implementing some of their suggestions?